Good morning, everyone. Welcome to ModGolf Live. Yet another Monday here. I am in Vancouver, Canada, so it's still morning time, 9 a.m. Thank you for joining me for wherever you are around the world, whether you're back on the East Coast here in North America here, so it's noon, it's lunchtime for you. A lot of friends in Europe, a lot of friends in Asia. So maybe it's nighttime, maybe you're having dinner, maybe you're almost ready for bed watching us here. But whatever the case, thank you so much for joining me. So today, I have another previous guest on the ModGolf Podcast. One of the people that I find her energy is infectious. I have not had a conversation with her in so many years, so this is one of the reasons I love that we created this platform with ModGolf Live. It gives me a chance to bring back previous guests from the podcast here, and in this case with Azucena Maldonado, who is the founder of Latina Golfers Association. I just went back and listened to our episode this morning. I cannot believe it was 5 years ago. It was the summer of 2019. So that was pre-COVID. Remember that COVID thing? Hopefully we don't remember the COVID thing. COVID's still a thing? Maybe it is. Anyway, moving on. The fact over 5 years ago that had Azucena on the podcast, which I had the good fortune of meeting her at the PGA Show that January of 2019, and we became fast friends. Loved everything she's doing to build community in greater Los Angeles and now across the country now to support Latino women through golf and business and everything that's going on. I'm going to let her explain that because it's amazing. Just celebrating their 16th year. Unbelievable. So before we get started there, I'm going to do something that I've been doing the last couple of weeks here, and that's starting the show, opening up with my Monday morning musings. I don't know how we say that in Espanol. El lunes. There, I'll let Azucena say that afterwards. But anyway, my Monday morning musings here. Just a couple of quick things here, just about what's going to be coming up. Super excited to lock down a couple of speaking engagements that I'm going to be involved with. One you may remember if you watched our show last week with Abu Tayyib, who leads up golf business technology and their conference they're having in Belfast, Ireland next May of 2025. And I've been invited to be one of the speakers there. Don't quite know what I'm going to be speaking about, but obviously innovation, entrepreneurship, growth of the game, all those good things, how we can make it more inviting and inclusive for everyone around the world, which is what Azucena focuses on. We're going to talk about today. So I'm really excited about that. And another conference I'm going to be going to also, once again, where I met Azucena, and that is the PGA Show. So going to be back there in January and speaking. I'm going to have a lot of guests on leading up to that have either been at the show or going to be at the show this year. So all kinds of exciting things that are going to go on, not only with ModGolf Live here every single Monday, but also with the ModGolf Podcast. And speaking of the ModGolf Podcast, just released our third episode of season 16. We're creeping up slowly on 200 episodes. And that was with our good friend Jay Karen, the CEO of the National Golf Course Owners Association. Had an awesome conversation with Jay. You can see that smile on that face. It is real. His energy is infectious also. Like I said, I try to do my best to surround myself with awesome people, just like Azucena. That's what we need to do here in life and in golf here. You want to be out there with a foursome for 5 hours with three other people that are they're lots of fun and are just good humans, rather than people that are kind of cranky and negative. And you know what? They're no fun. Life's too short. Surround yourself with good people. I make do my best to do that, and that segues nicely into a good person that I have surrounded myself with, and that is Senora Azucena Maldonado, joining us from Los Angeles, California, USA this morning. Founder of Latina Golfers Association. My friend, good to see you. How are you today?
It is wonderful to see you. And I can't believe it has been 5 years, but I've been keeping up with you, and I just love how you've been blowing up. You have the most interesting, and as you said, fun guests on this podcast. It's really cool. And yeah, I love Jay. I totally ditto everything you said about him. And that's the quality. I mean, really quality. I mean, we're talking high end here in the golf industry that supports you, applaud what you do. So, congratulations on your success. It's an honor for me to be here and to be able to share more about what the Latina Golfers Association is doing.
Well, I can't wait to get into that. Before we do that, I want to welcome everyone that's joining us. We've got a couple people that have jumped on live here already today. And on YouTube here, I just want to put this up because this is in our chat. So as I put out here, hey, this is me. I'm in Vancouver. Azucena's in LA. Hey, please introduce yourself and let us know where you're from. And like I said, we want to make this interactive. So, hey, I can sit here and ask preguntas all day long here. I can do that. But hey, in the chat, let's make this live and interactive. If you have any questions for Azucena as you start to learn more about all the awesome things that she is doing, not only in golf, but just community building and just making a difference here, just put them in the chat. I will make sure I pop them up here, just as I did with my question here, for example. And last thing I want to say, hey, if you like what you're seeing here on YouTube here with ModGolf, please subscribe to the channel. We're almost at 1,000 subscribers, which unlocks a bit of monetization for us that helps to cover our costs. So hey, if you like what we're doing here, why not subscribe? Doesn't cost you anything, and you get to meet more fabulous people like Azucena that I have the chance to bring on here. Okay, enough about me and ModGolf. So why don't you let everyone know? Give us the elevator pitch. Let everybody know that has not heard of Latina Golfers Association, of what you do and why you do it.
Well, the Latina Golfers Association empowers women, but Latinas in particular, by teaching them how to leverage golf as a business tool, so that they can grow and blossom and break that glass ceiling with a golf ball. That is why I started, and it has blossomed into so much more than that, but that really is our niche. We continue with that mission. And I believe in our world, in the Latino space, that really is what has set us apart from anybody else and really helped us grow. So that is, in a nutshell, that's what we do. We empower women, Latinas in particular, by teaching them how to use golf as a business tool, how to play in a business golf outing, how to play in a charity golf outing. And so many of them elevate their lives. It's really beautiful to see how they elevate their lives when they start playing golf.
Amazing. Amazing. Okay, so let's go back. The origin story, as you've mentioned to me, you just celebrated your 16th anniversary. So as an entrepreneur, and even when you started this, I know the story. We talked about this on the podcast episode. So we are covering a little bit what we talked about before, but there's going to be so much more over the last 5 years. Is why did you start this? What gap did you see? What opportunity? And yourself, with all the energy that I know that you have, why did you decide to harness that energy and focus it on Latina Golfers Association and create that, rather than the other 100 or 1,000 things you could have done with your time in your life? So what was the why that got you started in the first place?
It's about empowerment. It's about advocacy. So I did not grow up around golf. I had no golf background whatsoever. Golf was not in my field of reference at all. And so I didn't know anything about it. It wasn't until I moved to California, and, you know, golf is plentiful here and the weather is amazing. So I started, I've been here a couple of weeks, and somebody invited me to go play golf with them. I mean, actually it was a date. Okay. So it wasn't like to play golf, because I didn't know how to play golf.
Right.
He was an avid, crazy golfer. And so he took me and he bought me a putter and he showed me how to putt. And I'm like, well, I could do this. I think I could do this. It seemed like a lot of fun. Well, for the 3 years that he and I were involved, and well, he's still a good friend, because I thank him for opening up my world to golf. So he's still a great person that I love and admire so much. But so I became a recreational golfer. Okay. I fell in love with golf. 18 holes were not. In fact, though, the thing is, he didn't allow me to play 18 holes. I had to learn. I was baby steps. You know, I used to tell people, because this was like 18 years ago, that I felt like I was Tiger Woods the kid, and he was Tiger Woods daddy, because he would drill me and drill me, and if I didn't get the ball in the putting, in the hole, I'd have to start all over again. So he was really a tough instructor to me, and it was a while before I actually got on the golf course and then got on to play 18. Once I did, oh my God, 18 holes were not enough. I was like, okay, let's play 36 holes in a day. So I mean, that really became my world, my universe for 3 years. But it was all recreational golf, and my foursome, my world of golf really was him and his 3 golf buddies that were all not scratch golfers, but single digit golfers, right? I had to learn real quick, golf etiquette, how, pace of play, all those things. Like, I just had to learn basically on the job. And I loved it so much. But I have always, my entire adult life, been involved in the Latino space, whether it's volunteering in community, on the community level, serving on many boards and commissions. So that was always a world that I lived in. And once people started finding out that I played golf, they started inviting me to play in charity golf tournaments. I didn't even know what that was. I was so naive about golf. All I knew is recreational golf. I had no idea that there was such a big world, out there that is about golf and business golf, the culture of business golf. I knew none of it. But I went to this charity tournament. I was blown away. I was like, what? This is amazing. I was getting to network and meet all of these people. But what was interesting to me as I continued to play in these tournaments, charity tournaments, I started to meet people. And remember, I was relatively new in Los Angeles. And yet, because I was playing golf, I was connecting. I was bonding with people that I might not have had access to had I just been not on the golf course, right? And so I saw there's magic here. There's power here. And when I would run into these individuals at the chamber luncheons, at the receptions, and they would all know who I was. And they'd come up to me and say, hey, how's your golf game? You want to play in our foursome? And I was like, well, this is amazing, magical. And then the more I played in these charity tournaments, I realized there's a field of over 100 men, possibly 3 women, 4 women. I was so naive about golf that I didn't even realize that women were not in the game to the number that they should be, or we should be. So I was like, I started asking questions like, wait a minute, why aren't there any women here? I started kind of like, being this, like, hey, why are you keeping us out? Kind of an attitude to them. They turned around and said, oh, yeah, why don't you bring your girlfriends to come play golf? And I was like, oh, shoot. My universe of golf was just that foursome. That was all, I didn't have any of my comadres playing golf. And I said, oh my God, okay. I'm not going to complain about it anymore. I'm going to do something about it. So it was really advocacy at first, like wanting us to be at that space, in the golf space, where all of these deals were being made, where this camaraderie was happening, where this bonding was happening with all of these amazing individuals, entrepreneurs, elected officials, VIPs, corporate sponsors, all these great people. And we weren't there. So it was more advocacy at first. And then, of course, wanting them to love the game that I had fallen in love with in a big, big way. So that was really my impetus. That was why, that was the why.
Yeah.
And then I started, because you remember, I didn't know anything about the golf world. I was, total an outsider, naive. I just knew I loved it. And I knew I wanted our women to be playing golf. That's how it started.
Love it. Love it. So, okay. So I definitely want to cover everything or some of the things, the highlights in the last 5 years since you and I have had a conversation, but I still want to stay back in the early days. So then we talk about it, and I work a lot in technology and startups and in golf and in other areas. We always call it the minimum viable product. The first thing you do, it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be big. It doesn't have to have all the features. So what was the first event or the first thing that
Yes.
you did? What was your minimum viable product that you tried, and what worked and what didn't? What did you learn from that?
Well, initially, when I got when I felt really I was moved to do it. And I said, okay, what am I going to do? How am I going to do this? Right. Remember, 16 years ago, we didn't have social media like we have it today.
Right.
So I rented a banquet room at a public golf course. And I, with hors d'oeuvres and such. And then I just started emailing my network of women that I was meeting and knew. And I said, hey, I want to start Latina Golfers Association. Would you come? We didn't even do a clinic. We didn't do anything except we did. One of the cool things, and we can talk about this a little more later, is we invited the family and Lisette Salas, who is today an LPGA tour player. Yes. Then she was on the women's golf team at USC. So I had heard about her. It took me forever to hunt her down, to find her parents, to get permission. They all came. So they were at our inaugural event, but nobody knew who they were. They weren't really the highlight. It was just, come, let's talk about this. 94 women showed up at our very first event. And this is all just emails, right?
Right.
Emails. They all showed up so excited, just saying, we want to do this, but we don't know how to do this. There's nobody in my family that plays golf. I don't know anybody that plays golf. I've never been on a golf course, but I know that in my office, the guys go on Fridays to go play golf with the boss, and we're not there. So they all were, because a lot of my members are professional Latinas, right? So they all knew that there's something about golf, but they had no knowledge of how to access golf. Right. And so I realized when they were telling me these stories, I said, okay, we need to be that welcoming arm, that welcoming committee to make golf accessible to our community, basically, and these professional women who don't know how to access golf. So I didn't know what I was doing, right? But the first thing I did do was, we started with golf clinics.
Right.
Man, we'd have 35, 40 women, easily, and 60 women, sometimes 70 women come to these clinics. Wow. But then I said, you know what? If golf clinics are not enough, we can't just keep doing golf clinics. That's not going to make a golfer. It's going to bring them in, but it's not going to make a golfer. So then soon after, we started doing golf lessons. So we do clinics, follow them up with golf lessons. Then what we do that's really different, Colin, than most, especially then. Now it's more popular. But what I used to do is like, what is going to get somebody to the golf course that's totally intimidated by a golf course? So I said, we're all professional women. We know how to go to networking events. We all do that. And so I started doing like networking events, but they were at the driving range, for instance.
Okay.
They all come there and it would expose them. So they were comfortable about going to a networking event. It just happened to be at the golf course.
You tricked them.
I tricked them sort of. They were maybe intrigued, but it was not as intimidating for them to come because they didn't have to know how to play golf. There was very clear that, you don't have to know how to play golf. Just come enjoy this networking thing. And we'd have, cocktails, fun. And then we would have coaches at the stalls of the driving range. And those that wanted to, sort of try it out, they would. And so that's kind of where it really started to explode because more and more women were coming. Somebody would, it was very grassroots and very organic because again, we're talking 16 years ago, and so they were all tell their buddies, their colleagues, and they just started growing like crazy. And then from there, we just continued to do lessons. We do golf fashion shows, a lot of the fun networking stuff. Everybody's doing like Top Golf is what we were doing, 16 years ago.
Right. Absolutely. You're ahead of the curve.
We were way ahead of the curve.
So, okay, let's bring it fast forward up to today here. I'm going to share the screen. I've got your website up here. So as you can see on the side there, So
Very
I'm going to
cool.
let you kind of roll through this, and if there's anywhere you want me to click on or you want to talk about,
Oh my
just go
goodness.
for it. I'll just scroll through here so people can
Well,
understand with your website here. I have the
that's an
URL up there
example.
before.
That video you just saw is really an example of that's a golf clinic, right? That we did
Right.
in San Jose, so up north, Northern California, where they just come. Do you see the number of women that were there? We sort of have to limit it because in order to do a more substantive golf clinic, you can't have 100 women there. But
No.
that's very typical of what happens. So they all come, they like get excited, and then we introduce them to golf lessons. So that's what that is.
Love
And
it.
then, of
Love it.
course, we go down what we do, upcoming events. So we also launched something that's called Latina Leadership Through Golf.
Okay.
So every year we curate, because this is a curated group of about 32 women, sometimes more. So there we go. So we're people are starting to notice what we do, so they're giving us some love like you are. It's free to join. That's very important to me. They of course pay for the golf lessons and what have you.
Yes.
But so where was I? What was I saying already? They come, and then we put them in golf lessons, and then we do monthly golf outings, but our Latina leadership through golf, that's what I was talking about.
Yes, that's
So
right.
we curate a group of women from either their work in public service, instructors, teachers, run nonprofit organizations, a lot of professionals, elected officials, commissioners. We sort of curate this really amazing group of women. They do like boot camp. We do like 4 weeks of boot camp of golf for them, which includes golf etiquette, because that's a very important, especially if they're going to be doing business golf. So we want them to have fun, because everything we do is fun. But there's a time and place for everything. So they have to understand what is golf etiquette. How do you play with advanced golfers? How do you play in a charity golf tournament? So they go through that, but at the lessons, they also get on the course, because, you could do golf lessons forever. And if you never get on the course, it's not the same, right? You have to get them to get past that fear of getting on the course. So we do that. We make them comfortable with that. They learn golf etiquette. And then it's what touches my heart, Colin, is when I see them, because I continue to participate in these charity golf tournaments, and they're all there. Like we did the Latino, the LA Latino Chamber of Commerce golf tournament was in October. We're still in October. It's the beginning of October.
Yes.
There probably a third of the field, at least, were women that have, and 99% of them had gone through our programs. So it was just so amazing to see it's happening. They really are getting out there and loving it, and it's making such a difference in their professional lives. Not a week goes by that I don't get a text or an email from somebody saying, thank you. Had I not learned how to play golf, I wouldn't have been able to meet my CEO. I'm playing golf with my CEO. I'm got a promotion. Now I don't feel left out. I'm taking my clients to go play golf now. Yeah. I mean, stories are amazing and really heartwarming, and they are what keeps me going. So it's just blossomed. It really has blossomed, but very organically, and they're the ones that are sharing their stories and getting everyone excited about participating. So that is what we do. But we never have left our youth out, even from the beginning. I mean, because, we're all about community and elevating our community. And so we've always done free golf lessons for girls. We continue to do that. We have now adopted, thanks to grants like that we get from Make Golf Your Thing, right?
Yes.
So the grassroots grant. So we have adopted the 3 high school girls golf teams, giving them equipment, coaches, And now we've even started at middle school because we don't have golf in middle school here to prepare them. So
Right.
we do that. We do mother-daughter golf clinics, which are some of my absolute favorite things to do.
Well,
I think
you had that there. That one
yes,
there, right?
yes, oh my God, I just love seeing that. So we have moms that don't play golf and they want to bring their daughters. Of course, we don't exclude it. Aunts, we have sometimes we have 3 generations: grandmother, mother, and daughter, right?
Wow.
That all show up. Sometimes mothers bring their 30-year-old daughters, if they want to do it together, or an aunt that doesn't have kids but wants to get her niece to play golf, or a friend. So it's a beautiful community that we're building that gives them a taste of what golf is, how fun golf can be, and of course they all want their youth to start learning how to play golf. So it's been beautiful to see it grow and to see the generations. And it's not only the adult women, but the youth that we want to give them access to this amazing sport that it is.
Love it. Love it. So you do so much impactful work on the golf course and through business and connectivity to empower women and girls and young women to give them this confidence, not only through a golf swing, but also in life. Can you share with us a story? I'm sure you've got dozens of them, but perhaps one or two that warms your heart, that is not necessarily how golf is then given a woman confidence to then build her business, to become, maybe seeing what you've done, to become entrepreneurial, where she's had that inclination, but not really knowing where to turn or where to start, or even having the confidence to do that you've seen them grow beyond the golf course, that now in life and business, they become incredibly successful, and you kind of watch that blossom through Latina Golfers.
We do have a lot of stories about that. We have women who, for instance, one that I love to talk about. Well, we have so many, right? So
Right.
they've started to learn how to play golf. And now, like one, for instance, Cynthia Torres, she does sales at like UPS, right? So when she does her sales calls or Zoom calls, she always has like a golf scene of Augusta or some fabulous golf space. And most of her clients are men. So the first thing they see is golf, right? So now they will always ask about it. So now she's able to break the ice with golf. And then they're always asking, well, do you play golf? Well, yes, I do, and then they start that conversation. Let me tell you, her career has just taken off. Her sales numbers are way up. She is one of those that's able to play now with her company's higher ups, because they do golf outings, they do business meetings. There's always a golf component. Now she is out there playing with everybody. We have young girls we have one girl that we just sent to St. Andrews. Okay.
Wow.
She's was in high school. She just graduated from high school. And she's a go-getter, has gained a lot of confidence in golf, and submitted her name in some kind of program. And we raised money for her to be able to be the only person or youth from California to be invited to play in the St. Andrews Invitational. So that's a beautiful story. And now, of course, she's just going to blossom in the golf world. So we see a lot of those. And then it's a one cute thing that we do is that as our high school girls start, going to either being in the teams of the high school team, the college teams, we use them as our coaches for our little girls.
All right.
So that they can see, there's not a huge age difference. So they can relate to them. They see them. And so some of them have gone on to be professional golf coaches. We have one that I just visited with last week in Dallas, who is now a PGA associate. She was one of, we helped her in high school, helped her go to be in a women's golf team in Texas. And then she liked Texas, stayed in Texas. And then now she wants to be a PGA pro. So she's gone through the first steps and she's a PGA associate. So, we continue to support her. She's going to be doing golf lessons for us in Dallas starting in November. So I just love watching them grow up. And of course, we've loved to see Lisette. We didn't have anything to do with her journey, but we've always been there supporting her, fundraised for her when she first went on the Symetra tour, right?
Right.
Help her and her family get going. We just honored her at our Sweet 16, and she's been with us from day one, she and her family, right? And now she's, an LPGA pro. Women who are entrepreneurs, who they love now to host foursomes at these charity golf tournaments so that they can now take their clients. I do get invited to speak a lot at like women's conferences and especially chamber conferences of like, what did it take? You're creating something from nothing, which is a business, right? You're creating something from nothing. You have a niche, you figure out what it is. In our case, it's being a social entrepreneur because you're doing something good for the community, and it's a business as well. So it does give them confidence going, oh, she did this. She knew nothing, knew nobody and nothing. She did it. I could do it too. So, it's just beautiful, Colin. And I think that's what keeps me going because as you know, we have our good days and our bad days. And some days we go, what the heck am I doing? Why am I doing this? And then you get a call or you get an email or a text and go, okay, this is why I'm doing it. It's a beautiful thing.
And I love what you're doing. You're making such a positive impact, not only in greater Los Angeles, but as we finish up here the last couple of minutes, I wanted to ask you a couple of things as far as the power of partnerships that you've really understood the value of over the years that allows you to scale, even if it's just scaling the awareness. And I know through the media and some of the events you've had, you've done lots of television spots, news, also in some of the local personalities in the Latina community too, that you've done a great job there of having these ambassadors and advocates for all the good things that you're doing. But I also wanted to mention about, I guess, other partnerships that you have, because it's not just about welcoming women, inviting them to play the game of golf and then prospering in business through that. But it's also, now I understand, and then I can bring this screenshot up so you can talk to this one here. I know it's right in the middle of us here. But talking about this, that with Callaway and others, of having women have the opportunity to actually have their career in the golf industry. So why don't you tell us a little bit about this partnership and some others if you'd like.
We are partners. I love that I could say this because it sort of gives us validation, right? That a brand as an international brand like Callaway would partner with us because they want to help us grow, understand the need. So what we're doing with them is getting the word out that you don't have to be a golfer, even certainly not an expert golfer, to work in the golf industry. As you see there, what does it take to manage to run a business like Callaway Golf? You need engineers. We have a mentor who is with Callaway, who is a mechanical engineer, a Latino that works there. And she designs golf balls. She's just basically a beginner type golfer. She's not like advanced, maybe beginner intermediate, but that's not her thing, right? She's a mechanical engineer designing golf balls. So data analytics, finance and accounting. Everybody needs finance and accounting in the golf world. Social media, marketing, research and development. All of those careers are available. So we're going to host with Mackenzie Mack from Callaway Golf. She's our sponsor there, and a team of Callaway experts. And this is for anybody that wants to attend. It's a live webinar that we're having on November 21st, and it's free, obviously. And so she's going to have her team leaders there so that people can really ask questions, find out, what are the barriers? Is it just intimidation because we think we're not golfers and we can't work in that world? So that's what that is about. And she's also coming in person with us on the 24th of November at a Top Golf here in El Segundo to meet some of these folks in person. We're also so proud of our partnership with the PGA of America. And the PGA of America also has internships. And so we spread the word about the opportunities at the PGA, how to vendor matching, how to do business with Callaway, how to do business with the PGA of America, right?
Right.
We're probably intimidated by that as well. So they make it accessible. We're one of the partners that make it accessible, right? We're kind of the connect, the we give our community introduction and entree to these big golf brands, so we're very proud. I'm so proud of these partnerships, and it's taken years, right? I've been going to that PGA show for many, many years, and that's part of it. That's part of the what it takes. And that's what I always will say, you got to keep showing up. I kept showing up at that PGA show until they started saying, who is this woman? She keeps showing up.
She won't go away.
She won't go away. She doesn't give up. So all of that has borne, the fruits of this labor has been these amazing partnerships with great organizations, pillars of the golf world. USGA, they did a fabulous video with us as the USGA was here in Los Angeles last year. So they did a beautiful feature on us, which was broadcast nationally at every USGA championship that they had last year. That was awesome. So we're just very proud and humbled and honored to be in this space that just gives so much to everybody.
Love it. I have a feeling you are never going to retire. You love what you're doing so much. You found your purpose. I had a guest on, and she's the director of golf at a private community golf club in Hawaii, and we talked about her ikigai, this Japanese concept of what you love, what you're good at, what you can make money, and where you're passionate. And when they all intersect together, that is your ikigai. And I've got a feeling that Latina Golfers Association is your ikigai. You probably never want to retire. I see you're just having too much fun.
How do you want to stop doing this, right? How could you, who knows? I think next year we're going to start exploring, a golf line, a Latina-inspired golf clothesline. Who knows? I don't know. But all we can do is keep moving forward, keep growing, and just keep spreading the love.
Well, as we finish up here, I just want to ask because I guess there's all kinds of opportunities if you want to scale this beyond greater Los Angeles. I know you've done some events in Texas, and I know this was for the Latinx community all across the United States, which is growing and even having more influence, kind of that rising middle and even middle upper class and beyond, and just having a say, having disposable income.
Can I just share a couple of things about that? The importance. Yeah, I know we're running out of time, but the importance of the Latinx community in the United States, the market that we are, and how important it is if we want golf to grow. In California, we're 50% of the population. Come on, in Los Angeles. Nationally, U.S. Latinos are the largest non-white group in the U.S., making 19.5% of the population in 2023. That's only growing. We are the freaking market. And 25% of this population are young people that are 18 and under. We're like the fastest growing community in the United States. All these kids we want them to play golf. We want them to be engaged in golf. Do we want golf to survive in the Southwest? If we do want golf to survive, the Latinx community has to be playing golf. So it's a market. It's definitely a good thing to do because we want golf to look like the United States. We want it to reflect who we are. But
Yes.
not only is it a good thing, it's a smart thing to do. It's business. It's good business. If we were a standalone economy in the United States, the Latinx community, it would be the 5th largest economy in the world. The 5th largest economy, larger than India, than the United Kingdom and France. Our purchasing power was measured as at $3.78 trillion.
Wow.
So, it is a feel good thing, but it's a business. And if the golf industry wants to keep growing, we're the market.
Yeah, 100%. And I'm up here in Canada, of course, we're 1/10 the size, so you absolutely dwarf our GDP and our output here. So yes, so hey, I have yet to play a round of golf with you. I know I'm just 3 hours just north of you on a plane here. I haven't been to LA in a little while, but I definitely, if you're willing to accept a middle-aged white Canadian English-speaking guy to play with you, I'd love to play.
We have the best golf courses ever, and we're Muni people. Okay, we do municipal public golf because that's really important for us to get into the game. 9-hole golf courses we love, so important. We do a lot of advocacy work to save golf courses too, especially our 9-hole golf courses. So we got it all here in California and Los Angeles, and we expect you here.
I'm there. Well, I'm serious. Let's make a plan. I don't know when, maybe it'll be early next year, but make a plan. I'll come down and I'll coordinate with you. Maybe it's an event you have with the ModGolf YouTube channel, which again, as we finish up, please subscribe. But we're always shooting more content and creating, especially on course that I'm starting to do. And I love municipal courses up in Vancouver here too. So I'm a Muni guy myself. I didn't grow up playing golf just like you. So I think we should collaborate and create some content for both of our communities.
It'd be super fun. I'm going to see you at the PGA Show.
Absolutely. Well, we'll see you there. See you in January. Absolutely. So I can go on for another hour here, but let's leave it at that. I want to thank everyone that's joined us today. Everybody's a little bit shy. Once again, not asking questions. Next time, come on, put it out there. Ask some questions because that's what we want to do here. Is make this live and interactive. But nonetheless, this has been, as always, my energy level has just been amped up. I haven't even had any coffee yet. I don't even think I need any today. You fully caffeinated me with your pure, unfiltered energy, which I absolutely love, Azucena. And I just want to thank you again for joining us on ModGolf Live. And thank you for all the great things that you do to support and grow the game of golf.
Appreciate you. Love what you're doing.
Likewise. All right. You take care. Have a great day. All right. Hey.